Yo, a lot to learn as far as dance moves are concerned. Good evening, South Africa. Welcome. It's the Tuesday edition of TrendingSA right here on S3. I've got to say, the latest trends and hot topics are signed, they are sealed, and they're ready to be delivered in the best way possible. Some call me the flavor of the season.
Oh.
Some call me the king of the airways. Call me whatever you like. I've got the funk. That's the bottom line. My name is Mo Flavor, and helping me to unpack the business of the day is a king who is sitting comfortably on her throne. Her name is Lut Love.
Hello, flavor.
Oh, yes, I got it. And of course, to complete this trio of royalty is the emperor himself, Uma Blair.
Oh, yes, I got the funk, the brand new era. Get it up now. Ooh, it's a groove, yeah.
Help us, please.
We've got the funk.
What's going to
The funk, yeah.
What's going to be happening by Thursday if this is how we're behaving on a Tuesday? Yo. Anyway, on that note, it is time for Top Trends.
So over the weekend, Mzansi lost the beloved Dr. Cindy van Zyl. She inspired many, worked tirelessly, and touched us with her kind and generous heart. She gave us hope to become better people. Many people went on the timeline to share their memories and moments with the people's doctor. These are just some of the reactions under the hashtag RIP Dr. Cindy. Yam Love said, when I started, I couldn't afford medical aid. When I started having health issues, I would consult Dr. Cindy via DMs. She was always eager to help and recommend meds without even billing me. In the wee hours of the morning, I'd wake up to her checking on me. Oh, guys. And this is what T. Peb said. Cindy came through for everyone who needed help. When I lost my dad earlier this year, she comforted me, and she gave me contact details for a therapist. I am so sad beyond words that someone as selfless and loving as her is no more. And this is what Miss Universe Uzozibini Tunzi said. The way we all feel like we knew Cindy personally, the way it feels like we just lost a close loved one, speaks volume on the kind of person she was. Kindness personified. What a lovely human being. What a beautiful life lived. My heart goes out to her family. Guys, what do you remember about this beautiful angel that was on earth and now has ascended above?
Oh man, so when I fell pregnant and I realized that I had twins, she literally walked me through the whole journey, literally held my hand, and even post, she had some I can't say them at this time, things to say about what happens between a man and a woman post, having kids and the relationship you guys need to maintain. And then she created this twin mom group. So we all left in the twin mom group, because obviously having twins is a bit overwhelming and we just need support and we're never sure about what's happening. And she just created this safe haven and space for us to lean on each other, support each other, love each other, and walk each other through this journey of motherhood. And I'm so sad that her kids are not going to experience that again. I'm heartbroken.
It's beautiful. I've got a different story altogether. I mean, the first time I met the good doctor was in a nightclub, guys. She was rolling with another well-known DJ, very good friend of mine. And she was just wearing this beautiful dress, as she always does. And she was just having the time of her life.
Did it have pockets? Because it always had to have pockets.
Maybe it did. I wasn't that analytical, but I've just got to say, she was vibrant, radiant. She was jamming to literally everything. She was just in the mood, and I think it's such a beautiful thing just to show how colorful she was as a person, right? Oh, man.
I'm just glad, when I read all these stories of how people got helped out by you, Cindy, because she was always there for everyone. The one thing that I'm so glad that I was there when she needed a shoulder to cry on. I remember she was going through something with Twitter and she was being dragged for something and she didn't mean it. And then she came to my WhatsApp and said, Maple, I need to speak to you. And I just said, Cindy, the people need you. You need to have a thick skin if you are going to go on Twitter. And after the conversation, she actually tweeted. Because Marinus, the husband, was also saying, go back to Twitter. The people need you. So I'm glad that I was there
for a moment.
Really. Also, and Marina's, the husband and the one rand story.
I was about to mention that when Cindy asked for money from Marinus, the husband, and Marinus actually deposited 1 rand and said, you need to be specific about how much money you want. Listen.
We love her so much. We love her so much.
11:59?
11:59, yes. We all know, right? This is standard procedure. Throats open at 11:59, and we also only use the crew in the kitchen. Don't get it twisted, okay? And your dress must have pockets, okay?
We love you,
And may her
Cindy.
beautiful, beautiful soul rest in peace. We love you so, so, so much. So I stumbled upon this interesting tweet on my timeline, which has had us introspecting rather about some of the aspects of our lives. Take a look at this. We had Kellis Ratch, and I think that's how you say it, basically saying, what are you slowly losing interest in?
As expected, tweets did not hold back about some of the things which are not bringing them any joy or pleasure into their lives. And they had this to say. Nwam Mhlanga said, relationships. It's so much effort, and honestly, I really don't see the benefits. Rioane said, family. Although I've already cancelled everyone, I'm good. Wow. Terry Ellis B had this to say, said, my job. I'm really grateful that I'm able to do everything that I wish I could do with the salary. However, I don't think it's fulfilling my real life purpose. I'm not excited to work anymore, and that's a sad space to be in.
I don't know what's going on there, but something is going on inside a lot of us. I mean, feeling a loss of interest can make it a lot harder for you to perform your everyday task. I mean, all of a sudden, the things that brought you joy and fulfillment and, just a sense of completeness are not hitting the spot anymore, and they leave you feeling unmotivated and disinterested. And I just want to know from you guys, what are some of the things that you are slowly losing interest in, where you're thinking, oh no, I can't do this anymore?
I think right now I'm struggling a lot with social media, right? And I feel like if you are on Twitter, it's like a war zone, and it's just like think pieces and unpacking and stories, and it's heavy, and it's RIP, and it's bullying, and it's just judgment and shade and just the constant war. And on Instagram, nothing is real. None of us look like that. None of us talk like that. None of us act like that.
So
I mean,
you don't look like
that.
You don't?
I mean, most of the time I do. I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling very overwhelmed because everything also on Insta is very like curated, and there's just like this pattern and this way you need to do things, and I'm not like that as a person. So those two spaces are incredibly. I mean, I tapped out of Twitter. I was just like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. This is way too much for me to take in. I'm not okay. I'm carrying this weight. I get you with Instagram.
I even struggle with going live because I'm just like, it's so scripted. I look a certain way. I need to say, so I just post whatever I want. My thing though, it's sad. It's humanity. Ubuntu. I'm losing my faith and my interest in that because I just see the way that people are acting, and with social media, you get to see. You see how people are empathetic and compassionate to the things that they care about and things that affect them. And when it's something that impacts other people from other groups, these people pull back, and you're just like, so we're all about self-interest, we're all selfish, we're all about us, and we are the generation, by the way, of us.
But do you know what I just remembered quickly? Is that when you are grieving, which we all are, you actually, one of the things that you miss and you lack is empathy. You actually lose empathy because you're in so much pain, you're so deep in whatever that you don't know how to access how another person would feel. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking on that social note of, people interacting, events in the industry, award ceremonies, Durban Julys, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm over a lot of that stuff. I mean, how much networking can you possibly do with the same people over and over again?
It's because you've got the money now,
and
you are ascended to the top of radio. Where do you go after Metro FM? So you've ascended to the top of radio, so you don't need to network. I see.
I know, that's right. So this leaked recording of ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte, where she criticized, amongst others, DCJ Zondo over the conduct of the state capture inquiry. Take a look at this.
For example, the fact that it is turned into a court room. It's no longer a commission. They have almost a prosecutorial attitude towards people who come to give evidence. And from my side, can I just say, one of the things that shows that there's a problem is that a good friend of mine, Smith, who was in Parliament.
Already you can imagine how messy things are going to be from this point. So joining us on the line to give a fourth perspective on this leaked video, we have independent social political analyst and commentator Lukhanyo Vangqa. Good evening. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, guys.
Lukhanyo, what do you make of the criticisms that Jesse levels against some of the senior officials in the leaked video?
Look, I think Jessie really underutilizes the position of responsibility that she has in the ANC and as a leader of society. Some of these people that she's criticizing are within her organization, and she has the power to have them processed through the disciplinary processes of the ANC.
Right.
And she has not done so, up to this point. And I think she really underutilizes her position of authority in this country.
I mean, just listening to that short clip, it is quite clear that she's making some scathing and very jaw-dropping accusations. I mean, do these criticisms have any potential to have an impact or even to shake things up at the State Capture Commission?
These accusations are very grave, and they can be very damaging to the institution of the judiciary. And you would expect a person in her position as Jessie Duarte to have some level of specificity and detail in how she criticizes the judiciary, because she has that position of responsibility. She can't criticize the judiciary like we do on Twitter, where we just complain about their judgment. She needs to have the ANC, institute some sort of research. They have researchers in Parliament. They can be able to research what is happening exactly with the judgments of the North Gauteng High Court and what's happening with, with DCJ Zondo, so that when she comes in, she speaks at an elevated level that we do, and she doesn't do that, unfortunately.
Well, thank you so much, Lukhanyo. It's always lovely when you join us. We should actually bill you now because you're always here. Come and present with us. And by the way, there's a fan of yours who's always angry that I mispronounced your name last time. So Lukhanyo Vangqa, thank you.
Lukhanyo Vangqa, thank you very much.
We have more trends and topics coming your way, and then later our besties at Vodacom continue to take humanity further together in their brand refresh. Sa on 3, we'll be back in a bit.
Welcome back to #ZA on 3. So, a disturbing video of Vangqa, a schoolgirl from Bilwi Secondary School in Limpopo, who was filmed being bullied at school, has gone viral on social media. According to reports, the young woman has since committed suicide following the incident. The video drew widespread comments on social media, with tweets calling for justice for Lufuno and condemning bullying at schools with the hashtag Justice for Lufuno.
I mean, it is absolutely dreadful, very painful stuff indeed. And while we're still reeling from the shock of Lufuno's untimely death, hashtag Justice for Lulu also popped up on the timeline after we learned of the tragic and senseless murder of an openly gay man, Andile Ntutela. I mean, his mutilated body was discovered in a shallow grave, and Ntutela's murder has sparked massive outrage on social media. As you can imagine, scores of LGBTQIA+ activists also calling for justice for Lulu. It just is extremely painful, unbearable, honestly.
I literally can't, I can't fathom. I like the era that we're living in, the world that we're living, the times that we're living in are so scary, so overwhelming, so just
violent.
It's so violent, right? And it's all in our faces now. We can't avoid it. We can't step away from it. We can't run away from it.
I mean, I cannot understand how anybody can think it is okay to bully someone, to belittle them at any level for whatever reason. It is wrong, and I don't know what every root cause of it is, but I know that as a person who gets bullied, right, it must be a dreadful thing. It must be painful.
Yeah.
To the point where you feel that you have to end your life. I mean, that just shows you the extent to which it goes. And we talk a lot about, the pain that the person being bullied goes through.
Yeah.
But we also need to spend some time actually understanding why these things happen. Why do children bully?
I've got one there. It's an unpopular opinion. I always blame the parents. I think that if you are living with your child and you are raising a teenager and you are telling me that you can't see that this kid has traits of being a bully, then you are lying to yourself or to the people that are around you. Right. You can see there's little things that you can see in the house. There's something with this child when I send them out of the house. And when it comes to justice for Lulu, it's still, I can't wrap my brain around the fact that we live in a country where people were actually bullied, killed violently for just the color of their skin, something that they can't change. That there are people that feel in this country who are black, who are adults, who know the history of this country, who feel that it's okay to go and kill somebody for something that they have no choice in. And I just can't wrap my... If you can understand racism, then you can understand homophobia. It's problematic in this country. So as TrendingSA, we join the collective voices that are calling for justice for Lulu and Lukhanyo. We urge the Department of Education and Social Services, as well as the South African Police Service, to actually put an end to school bullying and hate crimes, which are prevalent in our society. There's no place in our society for bigotry and homophobia. Justice for Andile Ntutela and justice for Lukhanyo Mabunga.
Sure. So the hashtag Enhle popped up on my timeline after the actress and media personality filed for a protection order at the Randburg Magistrates Court against her estranged ex-husband, Black Coffee. This comes after she accused Black Coffee of allegedly abusing her on more than one occasion. In the most recent incident, Enhle Mbali claims an illegal document that the DJ struck her in the hand after pushing her out of the way during a quarrel they had at their house while Enhle was hosting her birthday celebration. This is what she had to say during her court appearance.
No matter how small it is, it always escalates. We've seen our Karabos, we've seen our Riva Stinkams, and I want that to stop today. I will fight with a lot of women fighters that I have rallied around me, and I'm not going to stop till justice is done.
Well, today, hashtag Black Coffee started trending after the producer and DJ responded to the allegations of abuse in a thread. In one of the tweets, he says, I personally grew up witnessing GBV in my own household from a young age. I vowed never to allow that to happen again under any circumstances. I did not assault Mbali, the mother of my children. I didn't do it now, and I've never done it before. And many people on the timeline weighed in and had this to say. Umpo Mahox said, if an influential woman like Mbali is literally being ignored in the streets of GBV, what about an ordinary woman fighting in the same battle with no voice? Respect to you, Mama, for boldly standing up to not only yourself, but for other women too. And then Joe Biden SA said, I believe you, and I also believe her. I feel sorry for your kids who are getting dragged into all of this. They are the ones who will be affected the most because they have to pick sides now, and this is very bad for them.
And that's literally where the pain is when it comes to the children. The judgment in the court case was reserved, rather. And I just want to know, from you guys, what do you guys make of how things are unfolding in this situation? It's so public, it's so ugly. It's just like he says, she says. It's just like this beautiful love story is a complete nightmare to witness.
It is, and it just shows you how violent relationships are, marriages, etc.
Right.
And we let ourselves down because we take things where they shouldn't get to. I don't know how great we are in resolving conflicts in marriage situations or relationships, but I think we fail. And I don't know all the facts and the merits around this particular case, but I think it's a reflection of a general pattern where we've been in relationships like that, that are violent, not always physically, sometimes verbally, emotionally, and I just think we need to work harder at finding ways to resolve conflict without things getting out of hand.
There's a tweet from Joe Biden, SA, not the President of America. Joe Biden, SA, said that the kids. And when there's a saying in Africa, we say when elephants fight, the grass always suffers. And that's what's going to happen in this case. I don't know the merits of this case. I don't know what happened in that household, but I'm just worried about these kids of two famous South Africans that are going to relive this for the rest of their lives, because all of this is going to be published. They are going. So I hope that we come to a resolution that's amicable for the kids.
But also, this has been happening for 3 years.
For 3 years now. That's what I'm saying.
Very, very long time for you to be fighting, going back and forth, and I just wish them a resolve. I wish them. I don't even know. I mean, he mentioned himself how he's been going through therapy because divorce is very traumatic for both parties. So I just hope that they find a solution and they come together in some way and work it out, because wow.
It really is compelling stuff. Well, after the break, we bring you our hashtag Flowers Not Fist feature, powered by our BFFs at Vodacom. In their Further Together brand refresh, you do not want to miss out on that. It is hashtag TSA on 3. We'll be back in a second.
Welcome back to #ZA on 3. When we take action, we make a lasting impact and go further together. Vodacom has created a GBV command center that is available 24/7 and offers counseling from qualified social workers through digital literacy and real-time resources. Vodacom is urging you to play your part in tackling the scourge of gender-based violence in our society. And it's now time for flowers, not fists.
With technology and humanity, we can go further together. Vodacom.
So tonight in our #Flowers Not Fist feature, we are looking at some of the signs that you are being catfished. I mean, the truth of the matter is that social media and the rise of the online dating space has opened us up to the possibility of being catfished. Trying to create connections with people online, especially during these very uncertain and dodgy, difficult times, can be quite a thing. You often have to gauge the person's true intentions on the other side, and sometimes that can lead to this whole situation where you're experiencing this catfish thing. So what exactly is catfishing, you might be asking? Well, take a look.
Catfishing has become a very popular term for daters, especially those watching the television show. And that's when someone creates a completely different persona of themselves. So maybe it's a thin woman that's living in Nebraska, posing as a hot, hunky model living in Arizona. And they might create a profile with somebody else's photo, and they suck you in. And you become digital pen pals. Nothing but a digital pen pal. Sometimes you might hear a voice, but you never ever meet the person who's catfishing you.
Sure.
Basically, DJs. Now that we know what catfishing is, I want to know, have you guys ever been catfished before?
Mo, do you have something to say before I continue? Actually, I had a friend in high school who, at the time, we didn't know what catfishing was, but she had this whole online relationship with a boy in a different city. But she always sent pictures of someone she's not. So she would get these pictures online, download them of this one particular model who was famous. I'm not telling you because it blows the whole thing out the water. And this was like mixed days, and they literally had this online digital thing. It was a bit crazy.
Yeah, no, we at the generation of Mixit and MiG33, so we got introduced to catfishing. Well, to help you figure out if you're a victim of catfishing, here are some of the main signs that you are being catfished. This is the first one.
Look out for occupational hazards. If they have a high exposure job and there should be plenty of pictures to Google stock and there's nothing, you got problems.
Started modeling early. The biggest red flag is that he says he's a model and we didn't find a single photo of him online modeling.
That's so
that's what I don't get. You see, that's why we have that phrase that says, if it's too good to be true, then it is.
Definitely.
It is. A model that's looking for you on social media like that. Guys, come on.
Have a bit of faith in yourself. But here's another catfish sign that is rather concerning.
Don't trust a Facebook faker. Okay, so all their pictures are on Facebook. That's a good sign, right? Not when the snaps have been stolen from someone else's profile page.
I want to drop some of his photos into Google image search.
Definitely. We got to hit
Another Facebook page. That's definitely...
It's so crazy.
I mean, I've had a situation where somebody pretended to be me.
Wow.
You know, sending people messages on Instagram and Facebook, taking images of me and pretending to be me. I mean, that is sick to another level.
I was once at a production studio and this young girl came up to me and called me by some other name. And I said, that's not my name, I'm Mable. And said, no, I've been chatting to you on Facebook. There was an entire Forex trader posing as me with a different name. I was just like, I'm a trader now.
And you don't even make a cent out of that. I mean, that's crazy. And you know what? It gets worse. I mean, how about this one over here?
Making sure you aren't superficial, a bait and switch. Here's where they try to turn it back on you. Come on, every catfisher uses this one.
She texted me saying that she had her cousin get on the camera. She wanted to see if I loved her for her, is what she was saying, and not for her looks.
Oh no, but love me for me though, for real. I'm playing.
Then show us you. Show us you. Guys, you know that the one thing that I always say, I'm big on video calls. Let's just video call the person and see if it's them or not. Because some model is saying, Guti, they are interested.
But we really can't like video call in the first 2 days of speaking.
I think that's when we should video call, the very first few days.
Yeah, I just think we need to spend more time, verifying people's identity, all right? Let's stop rushing into things in the excitement that, oh, I've met someone new, they're so hot, they look so great, their profile is almost legit. Let's be very, very careful. Well, on that note, some exciting stuff with Vodacom, lots more goodies to give away.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Phones,
5 gigs of
data, like it's happening.
I need that data. Just saying.
All right. But guys, back to the topic at hand. If you are going to have an online presence, it's important for you to try and stay safe, cautious, and most importantly, clued up on all the ways that social media, online dating can be an unsafe space.
Yeah.
And you can continue to help the ones that you love. And of course, I think it's important to always give the advice where you can. And remember, while you're at it, you can download the free Bright Sky app or call the Vodacom Command Center. That is 0800 GBV GBV. It is 24 hours available for you to get the support that you need throughout the week. And let's just make sure that we get to going further together.
Goodbye, people of South Africa.